I believe retirement just doesn't happen overnight. It unfolds in phases. And here's the part that surprises a lot of people. I believe each phase requires a different approach to saving, investing, your taxes, and even how you think about your money. The decisions you make in your 50s, I feel, can either open the doors or quietly create roadblocks for you in your 60s. And what you choose to do in your 60s, that's going to shape your 70s. And by the time you're well into retirement, the focus is going to shift again. If you don't recognize these shifts and adjust along the way, you can have all the right pieces in place, but still end up with a retirement that feels uncertain, stressful, and more expensive than it needed to be. Hello, I'm Scott Norris. I'm an investment advisor with Royal Fund Management and the owner of Nexus Financial Group. Over the years, I've helped hundreds of individuals and couples prepare for retirement. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned is this: a successful retirement plan isn't an event, it's a process. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what I believe are the 4 stages of retirement planning. No matter where you are on this path, you will see what matters most right now and how to prepare for what's coming next. And if you find this helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us share this kind of practical retirement guidance with more people like you. Stage 1, the pre-retirement planning window, ages 50 to 60. This is where smart retirement planning really begins to take shape. At this stage, most people are in their final decade of full-time work. You might be making more money than you've ever made before, but you're also balancing family obligations, your aging parents, or even helping your adult children. The biggest danger in this stage is assuming that you'll figure it out later. This is where your window to make strategic moves while timing is still on your side. Here's what to focus on. Clarify your retirement vision. Don't wait until 65 to define what retirement actually looks like for you. Ask yourself this: will I retire or transition gradually? Where do I want to live? How much do I want to spend each year, and on what? Clarity on your desired lifestyle helps give direction to your numbers. Optimize your saving strategy. You might already be maxing out your 401ks or your IRAs, but is your tax strategy balanced? Consider this: should you be using Roth accounts to create tax-free income later? Are you over-relying on tax-deferred accounts, which could create large RMDs later? Is your savings mix flexible enough for future tax law changes? I feel this is also a great time to accelerate your savings. Catch-up contributions become available at age 50 on your IRAs and 401ks. Don't leave that opportunity unused if it fits your plan. Run projections and stress test them. Now's the time to run retirement income models. What happens if you retire at age 62 or if you wait till age 67? What if your returns are below average for 5 to 10 years? What if inflation runs hotter than expected? Running these what-if scenarios can help you make smarter decisions and avoid costly surprises later. The retirement red zone, 60 to 67. In my experience, this is one of the most critical planning windows you're going to face. You're close enough to retirement that every decision matters, but possibly still earning and saving. Some clients retire at the start of this stage, others work through it. Either way, you're in transition. And what makes this phase so high stakes? Because early losses during this time is what's known as sequence of return risks. This can permanently damage your long-term outcome. And here's what to prioritize. Solidify your income plan. This is when you move from asking, how much do I have, to how much of this needs to be income later. That means defining how much you'll withdraw each year, where those withdrawals are going to come from. Is it from your Roth, your IRA, or maybe a brokerage account? What will the foundation of your income look like? Will it be just Social Security, or are you lucky enough to have a pension or maybe an annuity? The order of withdrawals alone can make a big difference in tax exposure and sustainability. Decide when you're going to take your Social Security. You can claim it as early as 62. Delaying until full retirement age or even 70 can result in significantly higher monthly benefits. Optimizing your Social Security depends on your health, your marital status, and your other income, and your overall portfolio. This decision is one of the most impactful ones you'll make during this stage. Position for risk and flexibility. If the market drops the year you retire, are you still going to be okay? That's why many retirees shift part of their portfolio into lower volatility or income producing assets at this stage. It doesn't mean you're abandoning growth. It means asking yourself, how much of your retirement portfolio do you want exposed to the market to help manage those downturns? Think of it like this. You're shifting from maximizing your growth to a resilient income stream. Stage 3 is the early retirement years. That's age 67 to 75, and congratulations, you've made it. You've retired. Now you're ready to start living the plan that you've built. But make no mistake, this stage still requires active decision making. Most people spend the most in their early retirement years. I call this the go-go years. You travel more, you make home upgrades you've been putting off. You choose to make bucket list experiences a priority. You help your kids or your grandkids. And that's perfectly normal, but it should be accounted for. Here's what to focus on in stage 3. Fine-tune your withdrawals for real life. Now that you're drawing income, how does it feel month to month? Are you withdrawing too much or not enough? Many retirees struggle to shift their mindset from a saver to a spender. But this is exactly what you've saved for. That being said, it's important to review your portfolio at least annually to make sure your withdrawals are still sustainable and you've adjusted for the market conditions without overreacting. Minimize your tax burden with smart distributions. You might not be taking your required minimum distributions yet, but the clock is ticking. If most of your retirement assets are in tax-deferred accounts, your RMDs could push you into higher tax brackets in your 70s and beyond. And this might be the ideal time to consider Roth conversions, especially if your income is lower. Tax loss harvesting in your brokerage accounts, charitable giving strategies like qualified charitable distributions. These decisions can reduce your lifetime tax bill and help preserve more for your family and your legacy. Plan for the unexpected. Even in retirement, life can still throw us curveballs, and unexpected health events, family needs, big ticket decisions. That's why we continue to stress test your plan each year to make sure you're not just on track, but prepared for the unexpected. In stage 4, this is the late retirement years, age 75 and up. This final stage shifts from maximizing your income to preserving simplicity, dignity, and legacy. By now, RMDs are in full swing. You may have reduced your spending, you've downsized, or become more focused on healthcare and your family. Here's what I feel becomes most important. Simplifying your finances where possible, reducing the amount of accounts, your complex investments, and unnecessary tax exposure. All this can be streamlined in this stage. Most people want to make things as easy as possible for themselves, their spouses, and their heirs. At this point, you may want to consider consolidating your accounts where appropriate, reviewing and updating your beneficiary designations, making sure your trust or your transfer on death provisions are in place for a smoother estate transition, protecting against healthcare costs. Healthcare can be a significant expense in late retirement. Planning ahead can help preserve your assets and reduce your stress. Depending on your situation, and if you haven't done this yet, you may want to consider long-term care insurance, making sure your healthcare power of attorney is in place, and coordinating plans with your family or a professional care manager. Reviewing your legacy to make sure it's intentional at this stage. Your focus may shift towards making an impact beyond your own lifetime. You may want to explore charitable giving strategies, gifting to your children or your grandchildren while you're still alive, passing down values along with your wealth. This is typically also the time to review your estate plan carefully, making sure your wishes are clear and documented. Your executor understands the plan, you and your spouse is fully informed. In my opinion, stage 4 is not about winding down, it's about fulfilling the purpose of all the planning you've done up to this point. If you're unsure what stage you're in or what your next step should be, book a call with me using the link in the description below. We'll walk through your current situation, clarify your goals, and help you make decisions with confidence, not guesswork. Because I believe the most successful retirement plan doesn't come from reacting to the headlines. They come from having a clear plan that fits your life. Thanks for watching. And if this has helped you, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more practical, grounded retirement guidance. And remember, retirement is a process, not an event.